fucking part in any universe. DC, Marvel, it's incredible. And, you know, I'm so thrilled to do it. I know there's a misconception because I didn't direct it that maybe I wasn't enthusiastic about it. It's fucking amazing. And I still can't believe that after 2 films, we have this history with this great studio, and you know, Kevin Tsujihara and Sue Kroll and Toby Emmerich said to me, "We want you to be our Batman," and you know, I believe him. And with Matt Reeves doing it, it's like I would be a fucking ape on the ground for Matt Reeves. Never mind being Batman. It's incredible. So I'm really blown away and excited, and it's a great time in the DC universe. You're going to see some stuff from Justice League that we're really, really proud of, and I think you'll see why I'm so excited for Batman.
What's going on, guys? So by now, I'm sure a lot of you have seen that clip that I just showed of Ben Affleck killing the rumors that he is not going to be playing Batman anymore. And I'm pretty sure a lot of you were like me initially, and you were like, yeah, he's gonna play Batman because he's so awesome. But after I kind of looked into all of his interviews and everything he said, he didn't really technically say that he was going to continue playing Batman. So in this video, I kind of want to go over his comments and kind of point out why it doesn't seem like he's going to continue playing Batman because of the way he worded his words in these interviews. It's not like an okay thing. And it's also at the same time, even if Ben Affleck's like, I'm going to keep playing Batman forever, that doesn't mean that WB wants him to play Batman forever. And maybe they're the ones that want to go ahead and kick him out because they need a younger actor. And I know a lot of people on the internet are like, whoever says Ben Affleck is too old, you're stupid. Blah, 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 blah. Like, I'm not here to like try to define that. I would love for Ben Affleck to keep playing, and there's definitely ways he could totally keep playing the character, but it just might not be what WB wants. So I'm going to go ahead and point out some things, and we're going to get down to the bottom of this. Starting off with the clip I just showed you, if you go back and watch the clip, at no point does he say like, I'm going to continue playing Batman as long as I can and blah, blah, blah. He doesn't say that in the clip at all. At one point in the video, he does mention a few names and saying how they do want him to be his Batman, and he believes them. Although that could be true, at the same time, those people could be like, yeah, we want you to be our Batman for Justice League. The main point is there is no definitive, like, I'm going to continue playing Batman forever. He just says the character is awesome. He's the luckiest dude in the world. Some producers want him to be Batman. And, you know, he says there's going to be really exciting stuff for Justice League. The one thing you guys got to remember is that Ben Affleck is an actor, and these actors need to continue promoting these films that are about to come out. This is a big blockbuster film. If Ben Affleck wants to keep working, he needs to keep promoting the films that he's currently in. It would be totally bad PR if he was like, yeah, I don't want to be Batman. I don't even care about Justice League. I just want my contract to be over with so I can freaking just get out of this damn suit. Like, that would be really bad for his career, and other studios would be like, nah, fuck this guy, we're not gonna hire him at all. Also, I'm pretty sure Ben knows going into a big blockbuster movie like Justice League, the last thing you want is any kind of, like, bad press around it. So him, the main star in this movie, wanting to be out of this universe, that is really bad press before this movie even comes out. It might keep some people from even wanting to watch the movie because they're going to be like, they're just going to change out Ben Affleck. Why do I want to watch this movie? The whole thing's going to change later, blah, blah, blah. So I think Ben Affleck did the right thing by squashing the rumors at the biggest place he could do that, and that's Comic-Con. And he did it a day after they came out. So a lot of people are like, yeah, he's going to be Batman. But let's dive into some other stuff he said. This quote comes from Entertainment Weekly, and Ben Affleck said, my status remains what it is. I've done 2 movies. I've always intended on doing a 3rd if Warner wants to make it. Certainly, if the bat phone rings, I will answer. If you guys don't know, Ben Affleck has a contract to do 3 Batman movies. And those 3 Batman movies are going to be BVS and 2 Justice League movies. But it would make no sense to do Justice League 2 before you do The Batman. It just would throw a lot of things off. So the next Batman film is more than likely The Batman. And if you're going to do a trilogy with that series with Matt Reeves, having a Batman, Ben Affleck for the first movie and not the 2nd and 3rd movie, it's just not going to work. So WB will more than likely cast somebody new if that's what they're going to do before they film this Batman film. If you're curious to why WB would want to cast another Batman, it's because by the time that The Batman comes out, Ben Affleck will be getting near 50 years old. He's currently 46 years old. Correction, Ben Affleck will be 45 next month. So, you gotta say that, you know, films usually take 2 years to film. So, by the time The Batman comes out, he'll be 47. So, by the time the second one comes out, or even a Justice League movie, the second Justice League movie, he'll be pushing 50 by the time he even gets to the second movie in a trilogy. And if you look at his co-stars in Justice League, they're all in their 20s and 30s. So he's got a decade on a majority of the cast in that series. And if you're thinking that DC wants to do exactly what Marvel's done and do a decade of movies, go on to do 20 plus, you know, years of movies with the same actors, Ben Affleck would be pushing 70 by the time they get to do 20 years of movies or something like that. You know what I mean? Because that's what Marvel's plan is. Marvel is about to cap. It's like 10 years. They're planning for the next 10 years. And DC wants to do that same thing. And you can't have a Batman that's going to be 70. I mean, you can go into Batman Beyond and do all that other stuff. But it looks so much better to have actors going from their 20s and 30s reaching 50 and then calling it a day than having an actor right now at the start of your franchise to be pushing 50 and then doing it for 20 years and calling it a day. So I think they're looking to cast somebody a lot younger to play this Batman role. But let's get back to the quotes that Ben Affleck said. And this next one is the one that made me really think that he's not gonna be Batman after Justice League. I just have this feeling that they are going to recast him. Don't forget that Ben Affleck was the guy that said, I'm going to direct the Batman, and then 2 weeks later dropped out of directing the Batman. So he knows how to like kind of kill rumors and then kind of just let them happen later on, like when it's actually going to happen. And this whole him leaving the role of Batman or not being happy as Batman, this rumor's been around for a really long time, and if it keeps coming back up, sometimes that means there's a little bit of truth to it. Usually means it could still be false. Back to the other quote. I'd love to do it as long as they'll have me. Eventually it'll be somebody else, and I'm sure they'll get somebody great, but while I'm doing it, I'm going to do the best job I can, and I really appreciate how lucky I am. So the wording there doesn't really provide much confidence in my eyes. I mean, he says, I'd love to do it as long as they'll have me. What does that mean? You know, the studio can be like, oh, you know, that gives him kind of like an out. You know, have you ever been like in a lie, or like not a lie, but you've done something you know people are going to be really pissed about, and you'd be like, well, I didn't technically lie. I feel like that's what Ben Affleck is doing. He says, I'd love to do it as long as they have me. I mean, if WB comes out and says like, oh yes, we have recast Batman as so-and-so, we will no longer be working with Ben Affleck, he can come out and be like, look, I told you guys I would love to keep doing Batman, but the studio decided to go this way, and that's just all I can say. It gives him an out, and it makes the studio look like the bad guy. And then he says eventually it'll be somebody else, and I'm sure they would be somebody great. That's not something you say if you want to kill a rumor. Freaking eventually it'll be somebody else, like eventually, like after Justice League, after the Batman, like what are you talking about? Granted, I know that the Batman, you know, character will always change and there will always be a new an actor to play Batman, but we're talking about a universe that is just being built right now, and you would expect Batman to be in the next, like, you know, 5 to 10 films. And then he says, while I'm doing it, I'm going to be doing the best job I can because I appreciate how lucky I am. That's just giving praise to having the job right now. None of these words, like, just, you know, provide any kind of substance in my eyes saying that he is going to be Batman for the long haul. He's not like, I'm Batman, I'm gonna be Batman as long as this universe is created. He's not saying anything like that. He's using words to kind of like play around with like, oh yeah, I'm Batman right now, but you know, they might change me later. That's how I'm reading this stuff. Also, I want to point out that Ben Affleck's not the only one wording his statements this way, because here is a Warner Brothers film studio chief, Toby Emmerich, tells The Hollywood Reporter, Ben is our Batman. We love him as Batman. We want to keep him in the cowl as long as we can. As long as we can is the same thing like Ben, as long as they'll have me. Both Ben Affleck and the studio are trying to come out of this situation smelling like roses. I feel like behind the scenes, they probably both hate each other. The studio is all like, dude, we freaking put you here as Batman. We were hoping you were gonna be our main star forever, and you want out of this? Like, you're fucking everything up. Where Ben is just like, I don't want to play this character anymore. You guys are making bad movies. I want to get the fuck out. Like, I feel like both sides is just like frustrated with each other or something, but they're like for the audience, they're playing nice. If you're WB and you want to kill a rumor, you don't come out and say as long as we can. You come out and say that Ben Affleck is going to be our Batman as long as we're making these films. That is how you kill that rumor. You don't word it the way they did. So I'm telling you guys, I personally think that Ben Affleck is gonna be out of this series soon. Justice League might be his last film. I don't know if he'll do the Batman, but with how both sides are wording things, I just feel like something else is going on. They're just playing nice for the audience right now to hype up Justice League, but I feel like after Justice League comes out, I would not be surprised if Ben Affleck leaves this role or if they recast him somehow. And one thing that really blew my mind at San Diego Comic-Con, and it could be how WB is going to change things, is the announcement of Flashpoint. And if you guys know about Flashpoint, if you've read that comic book, you know that the Flash changes a lot of shit, and it allows them to rework the continuity of the comic books, and they could do the same things with the movies. Flashpoint could be the moment that they could change Ben Affleck to another actor, and some people would be like, okay, the way they could do that is a whole nother video, but that could be the out. Just keep your eye on Flashpoint, because that might be the reason or the way that we change Ben Affleck to another actor to play Batman. Personally, I think just recast him. Like, if I don't want Ben to leave, but if he's not happy, I don't want an unhappy Batman to be in this franchise for the next whatever many years, and then we have to keep hearing this shit every time a movie's gonna come out. And I don't want him to do the Batman and then have a new actor do the last two movies in the Batman. I'm just not cool with that. And so I say, if he's done, if you're gonna want to keep doing other shit, just recast him after Justice League and we'll be good, and let's just move on. And don't even do anything. Like, don't try to put it in continuity or try to use Flashpoint to fix it or whatever. No, just straight up recast him. Fuck it. I don't even care. Like, we'll just make a joke about it in the next movie. Like, you look different for some reason, Bruce. Or something like that. Boom! Bada bing. Fresh Prince did it when they changed the moms out, and it worked. Anyways, guys, do let me know. Do you think Ben Affleck is going to stay on as Batman, or do you think he's going to leave after Justice League? Do let me know your thoughts in the comment sections down below. Guys and gals, I am totally still sick if you cannot tell, but if you ever want to support this channel, you can check out the Patreon like these awesome people did, or you can do the OG thing and give this video a thumbs up and share it with all of your freaking Batman buddies. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for all things nerdy and geeky on this channel. As always, I'm your host, JUICEbox. Remember, when you wake up in the morning, ask yourself something. Have I had a daily dose of juice? See you guys next time. Bam!